following episode was supposed to be released on February 13th, but you know, stuff happens, so you're getting it now. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.
Pair of these luscious black gloves. I gotta get me some of these. This is what all the Instagram cooks have on, and they rub their meats real nice and slow. It's very cringy, but honestly, I kind of get it. What's up, internet? It's your girl Breezy back for another episode of the Black Girl Baking Show. See, I told you I'd be back. I know I said that before and then I wasn't, but I'm back this time. So, as you know, today is Fat Tuesday. Yay, Jesus! I'm choosing to celebrate Fat Tuesday and not celebrate Valentine's Day, even though it's tomorrow, because Jesus loves me and no man loves me other than him. So we're gonna just celebrate Fat Tuesday and get these good old PAÇZKis out, okay? PAÇZKis usually are a baked donut-ish thing. They're Polish. It's a crazy spelled word. It's like a whole bunch of consonants, not very many vowels. PAÇZKI, I think. But I'm doing a baked PAÇZKI, which makes it healthier, obviously, and just as delicious, I think, I hope. I'm pretty sure. So, without further ado, let's just get on into it. So to start off this PAÇZKI recipe, we have to start with the dough, which means flour. Starting off with some flour, just a cup and a half. And this is a small recipe. This is not gonna make like a whole dozen of PAÇZKis. It'll maybe make 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that area, depending on how big you're cutting them. I have my yeast, I have some salt, and of course I got some sugar. And I'm just gonna whisk that all together real quick, give it a little spinny spin, make sure everything's dispersed well. And I'm gonna put it into my mixing bowl. Oh, carefully negotiate the bowls. Okay, so just toss that right on in there. Like so, like that. I'm gonna pop my mixing bowl back in. And honestly, this is kind of weird to me, and I was tempted to not follow these instructions to do this dough, because usually with yeast doughs, you combine the yeast with your hot liquid, whether that's milk or water, and you kind of let that bubble and ferment for a little bit. This recipe, according to jennycooks.com, said to put the yeast in the flour mixture and then put it in. So if it doesn't turn out right, it's Miss Jenny's fault, it's not mine. Let's just let the record show. So all right, I have some milk here that I warmed up and I've let cool down a little bit, because you do want it to be warm and not hot. If your milk is hot, you'll kill your yeast. If your milk is warm, you'll encourage it to grow like a little sunshine on a seed. So I'm gonna turn my mixer on and start adding in my milk. Get in there, pal. You can usually know that your milk is the right temperature if you can put your finger in it without it starting to burn. Gonna take some vegetable oil, pour that in there. 2 egg yolks, just the yolks, not the whites. Make sure you separate those out. Pour those bad boys on in. Get in there, kid. Oh, now I need a spatula. There we go. And like I always said, everything needs salt and vanilla. So put some vanilla in there, because that'll help to give it a little flavor, so it won't just be a bland little salty sugar dough. Now I'm gonna start to scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure that all the flour is getting incorporated. And I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit higher. Don't try to do this at home. Don't try to put your whisk or your spatula into the bowl while it's on. It's a terrible idea, honestly. It'll get mixed up, but I'm just risky like that, so. This is how I get my thrills in life. That's what I get. That's what I get. Yeah. I got my finger jammed up. I deserve that. Okay, so we're gonna let this go for a little while. I'm gonna let it start to work and, you know, get all doughish. To me right now, it looks like the dough might be a little soft, and I might need to add a little bit more flour. No more than a 1/4 cup though. So I'm gonna add in a little bit more. Maybe about half of that. And I'll let it work in to see what happens. Yeah, I think we're getting there. Let me scrape down the bowl a little bit more and turn it off so I don't get my spatula all mixed up in there. But I think this is probably gonna be good. And then I'll just let it knead for about 10 minutes. gonna check this out again to see. I might need to add a little bit more flour. It's right at that in-between stage where it's like kind of sticky, but it's also holding together a little bit. And if I add too much, it'll be dry. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Baking is for experimentation because it is science after all. You know what? I really want to make a shirt that says I'm a scientist with like a whisk on it. I think that is so cute. Nobody steal this idea. I shouldn't have said it now. Because baking really is a science. It's chemical reactions and procedures and equipment and smocks. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna let this dough rest for about 10 minutes. This will be like a little pre-rise, a little pre-proof, as the Brits say. Go let proof for a little bit. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy towel, put it right on top, and let it sit. Yeah, it's good. Okay. While that's resting, I'm gonna go ahead and make the filling for the PAÇZKIs. You can do a lot of things. You can do a lemon curd, you can do a cream filling, you can do a fruit filling, apple, cherry, blackberry. You can do whipped cream if you want. I'm gonna choose to do strawberry filling because to me, it's easier than making a cream filling and I like strawberries. That's pretty much it. So I have a whole pint of fresh strawberries, which honestly this time of year are terrible. Like look at these things, they're so light and white on the inside. We're gonna make it work though. And I have a half cup of sugar. Pour that all over it. Start to mix it up a little bit. And then I have about a tablespoon of lemon juice, maybe a little bit more, I don't know, just a little bit. Pour it in there, and I'm gonna give it a quick toss around to get everything coated with the sugar and the lemon juice. And then I'm going to put it on my hot plate here and let it start to cook down. So what you're wanting is to let it cook down so it becomes a juice. From the juice, it'll start to bubble. And then you wanna cook it as long as you want to whatever thickness you want. So the longer you cook it, the thicker it'll be. The shorter, it'll be juicier. So I'm wanting like a mid-range thickness. I'm gonna let this start cooking on the hot plate and I'll let you know what happens. Okay, so my dough's been resting for probably more than 10 minutes now, probably like 15-ish minutes. It doesn't really look that much different, just looks pretty much like it did before, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna hope and assume that I didn't kill my yeast, and we're gonna keep pressing on. Now I'm gonna put my hands in these teeny tiny little gloves. But aren't they beautiful and sleek? I love a black glove. This feels like a murder glove. So I'm gonna lightly flour my surface, which I cleaned off pretty well right before, and grab out all the dough. Come here, child, come on, come on, come on. Now I'm gonna roll this out to be about a ½ inch thick. So not super, super thin. You don't wanna leave it big and fluffy like this because it will rise once you let it start sitting out for about 45 minutes. So just a light little roll. And I don't have a ruler, so I'm just gonna eyeball it and hope that I'm right. How much is an inch? Like this much?
Yeah.
I don't. We'll go with it. So now I have my baking sheet right here with parchment paper on it, which you definitely want parchment paper so that the PAÇZKIs don't stick to your baking pan. We're not greasing anything, so if you just don't put any parchment paper down, they're gonna get stuck. You'll rip off the bottoms. You'll basically have biscuits with no bottoms. So make sure you have some parchment paper down. And then I'm gonna use this glass. You can use a cookie cutter, but if you don't have one, like me today, just use a glass that's about 2.5 inches in diameter and cut them out. So I'm gonna cut them off first and then I'll re-roll out my dough and keep doing until all the dough is gone. It should look something like this. Aww, look at the baby. I would say put them several inches apart just to make sure they don't bake together. They probably won't, but child, you never know in baking. Stuff be crazy sometimes. All right, re-roll the dough. And I usually kind of like do this little rolling method. I'll roll everything inward into itself. So all the flour that was on the outside will get reincorporated back into the inside. Because sometimes the flour will it'll prohibit the dough from sticking back together in a smooth circle like that. So I kind of just roll it inside and let all the soft dough that wasn't floured be on the outside. I know some things. Give it another nice light little roll. right about there. That should be good. All right, cut again. Ooh, don't stick now. See, this is why I should use a cookie cutter, because look, it's trying to embarrass me in front of my friends. Don't do that. Why are we showing off for company? Ooh, that one's gonna be a little thick.
It's all right.
She a little, she a little thick. So now I'm gonna leave these here. Where is my towel at? Here we go, here we go. I'm gonna grab my towel from before, drape it across, and let these rise for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, somewhere in there. In the meantime, you should do what I'm about to do, which is clean up. Get your kitchen together, wash some dishes, and then we'll come back. Make sure you preheat your oven to 375, right? Yeah. And in my kitchen, my stove is over there, my oven's over there, but in most kitchens, the oven is beneath the stove. So if you preheat your oven, you put your dough right on top of that, it'll help to kind of get the yeast growing, and it'll add some warmth into the process. So I'm just gonna crack it open. Hopefully the warmth will travel sideways to my PAÇZKIs. But now we'll be back. Okay, so here are the PAÇZKIs after they've risen for about 40 minutes actually. I didn't wait the full 5. But they look nice and rounded. They've grown a little bit. They look smooth. That's exactly what we want. So now I'm gonna pop them into the oven at 375. Let them bake for about 10 minutes, and then we'll finish them up. Also, I let the strawberry filling keep cooking for a little while, so it reduced down a lot. And now you can see that all the pieces and chunks of strawberry have cooked down. I didn't have to smash it. I didn't have to puree it. I just let it cook and cook and cook for probably about close to 20 minutes, maybe even 25 minutes. So it's nice and thick. There's lots of strawberry pieces in there. And this is gonna be so much tastier. Some nasty old store-bought strawberry can filling. So I'm just gonna let this keep cooling in the fridge and thickening up in the meantime. And then we'll fill them. Yes! So as I mentioned in the last episode, I'm gonna be back regularly. I promise. I'm gonna post 2 videos every month. That's where we'll start for now. We're gonna start at 2 videos, and hopefully, once I get back into the rhythm of it, we'll increase to 1 video a week. Lord willing, okay? Just hang in there with me. But in the meantime, you will see me in between those videos. You see little shorts. I'll post reels on my Instagram and my Facebook. I might put up videos of me doing my little segment on the news. I might just be in my kitchen and show you something nasty that happened. I don't know. I'm just gonna be on your Instagram and on your YouTubes and on your feeds everywhere. So just hang in there with me and watch these videos. Please subscribe. Please turn on your notification bell so that as soon as it pops up, there I am. So my plan is for the next 6 months, it's just gonna be me. We're gonna get reacquainted with each other. We're gonna talk, we're gonna schmooze, we're gonna flirt a little bit. And then I wanna start having guests on, because I think this is way more interesting when there's guests. So I'm gonna start bringing in people from my family, from my city, who are doing amazing things. I'm gonna bring in people hopefully outside of the city too at some point, Lord willing. And we're just gonna bake together. We're gonna learn, we're gonna grow. Might mess up, but it'd be like that sometimes. Just hang in there with me. We're gonna go on this journey together. So the PAÇZKIs are baked. They're a little brown. They got some melanin on the top of them. You feel me? They're my kin for sure. But they feel amazing. They feel super soft. The bottoms are nice and light, which is beautiful. And they also are all different sizes. But I'm happy with them. They're gorgeous. I'm gonna give it a quick little brush with some melted butter. This is about a tablespoon of butter. You're gonna brush it just lightly, coat the whole top of it. I'll probably flip them over in a second too and coat the bottom too. I like for my PAÇZKIs to have powdered sugar on them. Some people like just coarse sugar. I don't like that. I think it feels bad in my mouth. I don't think anybody really eats these without any kind of coating on them. I mean, maybe somebody does if they don't like either one of them, but I like a little something on the outside. I am gonna flip it over real quick, give a little brush on the bottom like that, boom. Boom. So now I have my bowl of powdered sugar and another pair of these luscious black gloves. I gotta get me some of these. I gotta get me some. They're amazing. This is what all the Instagram cooks have on. They rub their meats real nice and slow. It's very cringy, but honestly, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. So you just take your PAÇZKIs that have butter on them now and toss it around in the powdered sugar to get them nice and coated. Just like that, boom. Give it a little shake, shake, shake. Put it down on the tray. Oh gosh, whew. feel like LeBron James just entered my kitchen. Whoosh. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take one of my paczkis and cut a little incision right in the side of it. I'm gonna give it a little wiggle, just a little wiggle to create some room inside. And also I'm kind of pressing down some of the dough. Now again, it's nice and soft, so it'll kind of move out the way to make room for my filling. And I have my strawberry filling, which I put into a pastry bag to pipe inside. I'm gonna give a little cut in the tip of the bag and then fill that John. Fill it to your heart's content. Now be aware that, especially while it's warm, if you fill it up too much, it's gonna run out. But that's okay, because you're eating a donut with powdered sugar all over it, you're gonna be messy anyway. I ended up not smushing the strawberries at all. I just let them cook down a lot. So there are some slightly bigger chunks of strawberry in there, which I'm good with. I like that. If you don't like that, you can throw the mixture into a blender or into a food processor if you have one. All right, that's enough. I'm gonna stop so I can go ahead and eat one because I'm tired of doing all this. I'll finish the rest later. But for now, I'm gonna get powdered sugar all over myself. Well, that's delightful. The fresh strawberry filling inside, which looks like just strawberry jam, the powdered sugar, and it only took, I don't know, hour and a half, maybe total. It's very easy to make. It's kind of foolproof, honestly. I couldn't even mess it up if I wanted to. That's it. That's a paczki for Fat Tuesday. Happy Fat Tuesday to you. Eat something good. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next episode.